What's going on? We're back. We can play some more Barvo. Try to get some good Talishar games in. More good testing. So, glad you're here. Hope you stick around. Let's see. Let's go over to the main. Alright, we'll go back to the list real quick just to show everybody what's going on. Same old. This is what we were playing last time. I have played around with some numbers just a little bit. I tried cutting and posting Visage for Finals Fighting Spirit. Wonder if I can type it in like that. Look at that. Can't. So Finals Fighting Spirit, this is really good in the Lexi matchup, right? So you block the 3 block and then block this on their 5 attack arrows. They have a lot of. You get to gain a life if you're doing the fatigue strat, right? So not a bad option. But this is always a 3 block. Another good reason to run this is a 5 plus an 8 is a 13. Makes your rouse is better, right? So I'm kind of back and forth between these. I don't know. Maybe a mix of the two could be pretty good. We'll see. And then the other thing that I was trying was red staunch response over the Oasis. I am undecided on this one as well. This is way better if you're playing Rampart, I think, just because it gives you a lot of liberty to block with the Rampart and then pay a little bit of the AB, especially against something like Briar or Viserai, right? But anyway, enough about that. Let's get over here. Let's try to get some games. Now, I'm just going to do the regular classic constructed mode. That way we can undo and don't have to ask for permissions and all that kind of stuff. So. Been really liking this list with the tunic. It's a lot of fun. I'm curious what Kale is cooking up. He was talking about cutting Zealous Belting, and I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. I could probably be convinced though. It doesn't take much. But yeah. This is fun. Do really like it. I like being able to go tunic counter, 2 blues, play a crippling crush, and get to block a lot more doing it this way. So I was talking a little bit about this with a local yesterday. Make sure I got the right stuff going on. Yeah, I was talking about this with Luco a little bit, and the downside of running Tunic versus Tech Plating is you lose 2 life, kind of, right? So you get the 2 from the Battle Worn and then the 1. If you make a play line, let's say Command and Conquer, Pummel, and a blue with Tunic counter on 3, that allows you to block with 1 additional card, which the majority of them are 3 blocks, right? So, in a way, there's that 3 that you're missing from it. So, if you can line up that at least 1 time, same thing with your Starstruck and your Crippling, you know, a little bit less than that, just because they're Guardian attacks and you get the Surge, but it's mainly like this play line. This is your most efficient pivot back, right? So, that's why I really like playing with Tunic. At least right now. Where are the people at? Hey, look at, oh crap. This is the tough matchup, right? I have only played against teammates playing Prism, and it has been awful every time. So, yeah. We'll see though, we'll try it, we'll give it our best go. So we don't want Oasis, I don't think we want any of these reacts. I think we can actually keep Sigil. We don't really need this heart. This heart's never going to do anything for us. So, just keep it like that. Do the AB1 just because I do have things like Merciful that might be important. Okay. I mean, I think it's just imposing visage, go get a blue. Yeah, that's what I want to do here. I'm gonna go get a blue. It's probably just gonna be another buckling blow because it's the worst popper. And I'm gonna pass priority here. In case they want to play something, we can hammer one of their auras. So they're getting a Figment immediately. It's probably the Spectral Shield one. Yep. Usually what they go for. Have 2 floating. Call me greedy, but I kind of want to attack them to get rid of this shield, if I can. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. This could be wrong. Okay, there is a Parable. We can have a Zealous Belting play next turn. We get rid of the shield. Well, they get another shield back. Forgot about that. So we have a popper for whatever they're trying to do. I think I'll just give up here. And then I think we want to kill the Parable. This is just an annoying card. That one is more annoying, so we'll do that instead. Alright, their face first. Probably sync. Arc Light. That's so annoying. Oh, now you see why this is a bad matchup. We have to attack the Arc Light. We're gonna go ahead and gain some life. We'll arsenal the Spinal Crush Call it a day. Luckily, they don't have a way to pay off. So, we have 1 popper. Fortunate for us. Sadly, we can't actually do anything with this Rouse right now. Yeah, to me it looks like we're just going to pop this. Oh shit. Okay. Well, make it look like I knew what I was doing, right? I forgot that this was giving me the minus. We are definitely killing Shimmers. That's the Snowball one. Got a little lucky there. Totally forgot about the Parable. Jeez, come on. Stop what you're doing. Why you got to do this to me? Okay, free draw. Go again card. We have to kill this Genesis. We really just need to draw a go again card. There's no on hit, right? It's only when it attacks. It's an on attack trigger. Probably could have given it a little bit more. Prevent some of the damage. What I think I'm gonna do is actually just, we're gonna smack the Genesis. We're kind of in this play pattern now. We'll keep the big blue in case we draw Zealous or Rouse. very well get out of hand very quickly. It's not looking good. Well, we're at the beginning of the game, so got plenty of time. This hand sucks. Yep. Cool. I can keep this pummel. Potentially have like a good follow-up with the spinal. I think I'm gonna do that. Obviously we have to hit the arc light, so not much we can do there. Gain some life and we'll pass. I'm gonna stagger it just a touch. This is a Command and Conquer play. Another parable is really, really annoying. Oh wait, no, they're just attacking. Okay. Much better. I think I'm gonna keep this. 6 in damage. Another one. We're likely not going to play this, but I want to wait until their last one, where it seems like that's the last thing they'll do. They're just playing Shimmers, okay. So I should have blocked there. I think it might be right to attack with the Command and Conquer here. I can blow up the Shimmers in just a second. Okay, yeah, that's annoying. I'm just gonna pay for it like that. So we're gonna get 3 shields, 6 more damage, 1 card, and the card they're keeping is probably gonna be a light and illusionist card. Okay, finally. Oh my god. Is it just like a pivot to try to kill them now? I don't know. This is so bad. So we got 3 of these insane cards. Haze Bending is the top one. What I might end up doing... Genesis kind of spins out of control. Same thing with Shimmers. Haze Bending plus Genesis is just stupid strong. Trying to figure out what I want to do. And they're getting so much off of this. Like, I don't think we can get there. I think we just have to send it. So we... Oh, the ward. I forgot about the ward. So we technically already killed an angel. I kind of want to see what they do against the Zealous. Okay, they just do not care. I think it has to be that. We have another pummel play. We'll decide to play that. I think I want to go ahead and get rid of this spinal. It's second out of Arsenal. Well, we'll just draw another one. That's how it goes. I'm kind of locked into this playstyle right now because of what they're doing to me. Really messing me up. Okay, this is kind of the hand that we want. So we can go Zealous, Command and Conquer, Pummel. If need be, or we can go Zealous, Pummel it, Smack, and Aura. Okay, perfect timing for that. Lots of reds on their side. So we're attacking with that, pitching the blue. We need to keep the entire hand. Arsenal makes sense. Okay, let's attack your face.
Lil Reba.
I don't know what they're... Back to back, they say. I'm talking about the Zealouses, yeah. That's fair. I think we need to swing at them just to get the shields going. Oh, that brings us to 22. Yeah. Okay, this is a good hand. If they play ALS, we're basically dead. So this is for sure at the face. And I'm doing this just because they don't have an arsenal. Do it again. Alright, please, no ALS. Thank you. Yeah, just a hard pivot at this point. Kill them dead, please. Alright, probably a B-react of some sort. I don't know how their deck like ever beats any aggro deck ever. So, okay, cool. Nice. So this would allow them to get a figment. Is there a figment that I actually give a crap about? I can't remember the figments that actually matter. I guess it's like technically some damage prevention, so we'll do that. Yeah, because it's damage prevention. Because the ward, it's kind of what I'm thinking. It's kind of like gain 4 life. It's very annoying. And it helps stop this. You're only coming in for 10. One more card, please. Yep. Very good. Sounds great. Cannot complain. How does this work? Cards controlled while attacking and defending. Okay. So it doesn't stop the actual reveal to rouse, which is nice. Probably a soul shield. Yep. We haven't seen many reacts. So maybe this could just like blow him out of the water. I'm gonna do it. No, it's fine. Yeah, that would have been better. We'll just launch no raid. Now I wish I had that command and conquer. If I had a tunic here, that would be good too. Nice. Get him. Nice. Okay, well, it was looking bad for a little bit, but we're good now. We are good now. Alright, that's one win. One for the books. Where's all my peeps at? Nobody's talking to me today. Come on. Let's see. That's what you'd love to see right here. One win against Prism. I was playtesting against Lexi yesterday. That was pretty built to beating fatigue strategies. Oh boy. Gotta love a good mirror. I'm actually super interested in seeing how this plays out without having tech plating. So we're definitely going to see that. I think it might be correct just to play all the cards. So we're at 40. Let's do some math real quick. Right, so we want to be around 60-ish%, right? So we do 40 divided by, it's actually 69. 58. And then, sorry, hold on. Calculator, I usually do 38 divided by 60. 63. I've done 42 divided by 70 before. 60. So we're a little bit lower if we do that. My usual go-to for cutting is Spinal, but that's one of the better cards here, right? With the tunic. Alright, we're just gonna play the whole thing. Try to move over to the Talishar side. Alright, we're on 5 wins on stream. Alright, filter. Hey, they're on tuning too. Look at that. It's pretty cool. Alright. Starting off strong with a red into a blue. We're gonna Arsenal sync blue, just play the sigil because that's what we do. Okay, pretty good life swing. Think about just playing this sync below. I don't want to get rid of Command and Conquer this early if I can help it, especially when I have a tunic counter coming up. I think I'm going to do that and just keep this in hand. Just do the sync below. I need the blue, so we're not going to do that. When I have this many cards in hand, this will probably make them force block, maybe even use their crown, right? Oh, they're getting a surge. I'm gonna Arsenal this, I think. Yeah. Okay, this is just 4. Nice. So this is a tough one because I want to get rid of this blue to have a better pitch stack, but I won't have a turn to do anything next turn if I draw another red, which is pretty likely. So I think what we'll do is we'll just keep it like this, and we'll swing 4 this time. Nothing crazy, just be patient. So now we have crippling and 3 blues, that's where we want to be. Looking to get another red to pitch stack with that if we can. Okay, there's the red. We're going to pitch this and this. Starstruck is good. I think I'm going to use Tunic just to Oasis here. And we'll use the sync below. Actually, we can bottom this. Might give us a little bit something better to work with. I'm going to Arsenal this guy. We're going to play Command and Conquer. Because I don't want to stack these right next to each other. Nice, nice. Just getting 2 cards. Arsenal that guy. There's a pummel that we wanted. And we put the pummel close to the other one too, which is great. Give him 2. Alright, so we have Spinal, blue. I'm going to go over pitch like this, put the Spinal next to the pummel. Interesting. This is kind of free to do, right? Well, Arsenal the Oasis. This is the last Oasis, so this is the only other awkward card. But it is like kind of an insurance policy, so it's fine to have. Alright, big react time. Yep. Probably gonna block with this one. Just call it there. So we have pretty good amount of blues in between now. So we just played that crippling, right? So pitching this. Terrace Under alive too. Both of these are very good late game cards, but Terrace Thunder is typically a little bit better, depending on the situation. Okay, full block again. So this is a pretty cheeky play here. So what we could do is we'll Arsenal this guy. What I'm going to do is double block like this. I'm happy because what they're probably going to do is pummel here. If they don't, then we have the sigil, that's fine. So we should sigil pass. Let's draw it. Strike. Nice. And so go again. Gonna bottom that. There's just another blue in between. This could be a big attack here. Nope, it's just an overpitch. I'm gonna use the tunic to clap back. Very basic, Sin 4. Nothing that great, but we'll use the tunic for the Oasis, most likely. It's a pretty good hand. Especially if we get to go Oasis and Arsenal the other movable. Okay. Dominate. This is kind of awkward, right? So now what I think I want to do is block with unmovable and then tunic Oasis, Arsenal Zealous, attack with that. And I'm going to pitch the cranial first. Just so the Rouse isn't right next to like 2 Terrace Hunters that we know about, right? Hand is medium. Can't really do anything with that. That really sucks. Still 4 warmongers is really messing us up. I think we take 3 here, hold the fate. God, that sucks, right? Actually, I think it's probably better to use the fate here. As much as I want to bottom that, I think we do. We just overpitch the start shark. Make sure the rouse is good. Okay. This hand does not turn on Zealous. That's a fact. Okay, we got Dominate. We're just turning that on, huh? He could be fearing for his life right now. So we have Tunic on 3, Pummel and Arsenal, right? That's what they think. Pretty good. So, it is not dominated. That is some good news. Okay. Keeping an Arsenal card. It's another one of our D reacts. Gone. Back, okay. Perfect world, we block the showtime and then throw something back. This is probably Pummel, right? I think we just have to give it up. Just in case. This is not a bad card to have. Okay, now I'm gonna Tunic Macho. So I can Arsenal this. We're gonna do Debilitate and then Disable. And the reasoning is if I draw another Rouse, I can pitch it, and it'll be next to the 7. A little bit of prevention. Okay, another pretty decent hand. Alright, medium turn for them. Giving up a Pummel is a little weird. Oh, okay, well. When you draw them in clumps like that, they're not very good.
Play this. I think we just want to... We need to give up something. We have a Pummel, follow-up, Zealous here. Have we played another Zealous? Nope. Okay, so the other Zealous we're not going to see anytime soon. Bottom that guy. Still have all of our pummels. Tune it to block for 4, sure. Okay, this is looking like the pitch deck. How many D-Rex do they have? I'm gonna let this resolve just in case they try to pummel it. Okay. Interesting. I think it's actually better now to go crippling, like dominant crippling. I would probably rouse if I didn't have an arsenal. I expected them to hammer. Now, I wouldn't have been able to make that play, of course, but yeah, I think it's probably just right. Let's see how many reacts they've used. They've used most of their stuff. But they just pitched to Staunch, so they don't have another one of those. So it could be... This will probably get their armor. So I'm happy making this play. They have another one, okay. So they're on 3. Yep. So we have a follow-up pummel. So I think what I want to do here is just hold the spinal. And this is tough, right? Because this heart is not doing me any favors. Gonna overpitch and swing. I'm gonna use this heart with this unmovable. Okay, they're giving me a crippling. Nice, nice. So there's that pummel we knew about. What is up, Nathan? Okay, so to me, I think this is just a block here. Probably get both. I want to arsenal this pummel because we're in the second cycle stage. So we're just going to do it like so. We get no value off of that because we're at the same life. Whatever. Oh well. Can't get it all. Next hand is going to be something pretty good too. I think it's another crippling, if I remember correctly. Figure you'd be playing Baldur's Gate.
like all night. Okay, we got the free hits. Arsenal. There's that crippling crush. They got their own crippling crush. This is very unfortunate for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That ain't it. That ain't it. Keeping these cards is not going to do anything for us. Swing back. It's the best we got. I think we're going to bide our time just a little bit. We just need a little bit of health buffer. We can make a rouse play. And not a rouse. Yeah, a rouse. Opponent's played this pretty well. Unfortunately, this is not the rouse play that I was envisioning. I think this is just give a card, then slam this back. This will eat at least 2 cards, probably Greater Fist 2. Those staunch responses would have been so good. So they took the whole thing. That means they're playing something really big. Take 3. Have to do, right? I think we have to pummel here just to get another card out of their hand. I hate it, but I think it's right. I think it's right. Just got a little too far behind. It's a very good game, though. They played very well. Pulverize was a bat breaker for sure. Lots of awkward hands. Gives me 1 card, and I think we're dead. Probably very dead. Well, we are. Yep, we are just dead. All right, good game. Good game. Not like this. We're not supposed to lose the mirrors. That's okay. These warmongers are kind of tripping me up too a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of these. The more and more I play them, the more and more I dislike them. go back. Let's make one minor change, right? Over here, take these out. Get that card out of my deck. Alright, everything else I think looks fine. Part's really good with Rampart. I don't think we can get that up, like, ever. Alright. Alright, back at it, but this time we got the staunches. Yeah, their Bravo list looked like they were trying to play Rampart into a lot of matchups, just with how much pitch they were able to use with the Brothers in Arms and the boots. I am actually live, believe it or not. Yeah, it was a very good game. I was like, okay, this pitch stack, maybe we can get there. I'm not playing, so we're playing against Phi, real quick. Yeah. Okay, board real quick for him. Yeah, but seeing your pitch stack was very well put together. Mine was pretty decent too. It's just, you got there one card before I could, unfortunately. For me, those Zealous turns with no follow-ups were wild. I was like, okay. But the way our Bravo decks are built nowadays is just like, honestly, they're kind of awkward. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Like, you just take these Kadachis, right? Alright, we take that one too. Watch, they just Arsenal pass. That'd be the most annoying thing. Okay, you took all this, you're ready to block some stuff, Arsenal pass. You play Rampart in many matchups. That's what I was just saying. I was like, the way that you look like you have your deck built is probably Rampart leaned with the Brothers in Arms and the boots. So I'm pretty happy blocking this now that their last card is probably nothing that's that great. Well, that's kind of awkward. I didn't know that was their second Phoenix flame. The first. Hey, hold on. What's going on here? Whatever. Here you go. Take it. Ah, yeah. That was the one punish. Okay, well, I do like a dominated Crippling Crush hand. I'm playing Rampart right now too, but I don't have all the payoff. Not nearly. Right. This Phi looks like I know what they're doing. It's gonna be a match for sure. Honestly, they just give a 3 block and we dominate that. We just do it anyway. We have extra resources. Okay. There. Yeah, they are on Kandachi. I guess Boltyn is pretty shit there. I will not block. I will not block. I will block. For 7, well, we can block with this. We can give you the Synchlo. Honestly, there's no other like card that really matters here, so I'm just gonna swing the 4 and we'll Arsenal the Pummel. Just a little bit better math. Rock Gaming. That is a name. It's a good name. One thing I miss for the mirror is playing Chokeslam and whatnot. Chokeslam is always my fave. How do I find the 5 matchup overall with the new Oldham style list? It's fine, you know. You set up plays like this, right, where you get the Arsenal and wait until you get like a CNC or something, and then the breakpoint cards are so good. Like you get to play so many more of these 0-for-4s. I like it a lot. I'm gonna get rid of this card just in case we can play Iyslander if we want. I'm not gonna block that. We gotta eat through the armor eventually. Yeah, the Oldham style list is pretty fun. Warmongers, like this card, carries some games. The card is so good. So, likely getting a flame scale block here. Okay, and sink below, reinforce, okay. So he's probably on all 3, I would guess. This is what we live for right here. Starstruck isn't the most incredible. I can save. Let's see. So with Tunic, I could play this follow-up turn if I save this card. Just pummel off of it. Let's do that. See what the other card that they're going to play is anyway. Alright, so we have to give up the card anyway. I'm actually okay with making this play, just because I do want to keep the Tunic counter for one of these. We'll take that. Now, I know this doesn't do a whole lot, because they don't have an arsenal, but Pummel is a good card. We got to get their life total low enough. I see a lot of good 5 players. They will sit on their armor forever, which is the right play. This hand is pretty cool. I'm not gonna block either of these. This is what I'm going to block. And this is an easy Crippling Crush. Okay, full tempo. Can't complain about that. Can't complain about that, though. That's annoying. Oh dear. I think I'm just gonna play the Spinal. Yeah. Glad we're on the same wavelength. Sorry, I'm going back and forth. It's just the best math, right? Like, them being this low, they have to start trying to make like a pivot, so they're gonna give us this armor anyway.
Only used 2. We got 4 more 0 for 4s. Yeah. Bravo is a very cool deck in a way that like everybody plays it a little bit differently, and none of them are necessarily like better than the others, right? Unfortunately, I think it's just play these 2. Starstruck is not the best. I think I would rather just bottom that. Because I want the guarantee the blues with the crippling, right? Yeah, I mean this is pretty solid, them being a 6, right? Have to start caring about the hammer that we haven't been swinging much. Okay, so we're getting our first piece of armor. Look at that. See, glad we bought him the Starstruck. Rise. We'll be taking this Rise. Yeah. It is all good. Okay, so now I think it's just get these 2 more cards. They've already picked up their Phoenix Flame. They got another one, so they're threatening Mom again. Probably give this away. That is not a threatening card, so we can bottom it. Flame for 1. I'm going to block this one here. Because of that reason there. I want to be able to keep the tunic. And we can guarantee throw this. Yep. Reinforce, that saves you. Still taking a bunch of damage though. This is a great hand. It says Dominate Spinal. Actually, by Dominate Spinal, it gives me 1, 2, 3, probably all of their armor. Yeah, I think that's what we have to do. They have a 3 block. It becomes annoying. I think there's merit to actually keeping the sink below, but they're gonna throw this anyway. Okay. Big scary hand incoming. Got a 3 block. They don't seem to be playing any reacts, so this was like kind of free.
Choose your fighter. Lightning inspired. Fight.
Just gonna give Mom. I think it's honestly probably better to block a card here.
And then or something like a move or something like that for some random thing that they have. Because hammer for 5 doesn't do anything unless they draw exactly all 2 blocks. Just like, I guess we can dominate this. Oh yeah, you just do that. Okay, I'm done. They have to literally draw specifically sink below. This has a pretty good chance of killing them. Okay. Yep. If I didn't have to block, this would be insane.
Knockout. You win.
What was the last card? We think it's another 0 for 4, probably. It's another 4 damage for sure, right? So, take 2, last card, probably another 0 for 4. I think it's just gotta be block with one of these. Block with this, just in case that's like the only thing they can do. Then we have the pummel line. Oh, it was shown by Rabble, wasn't it? Yep, or... well... attack! That should be it. Nice. Good game. Very tight play. I like games like that. Alright. What is next? Alright, so we've gotten... what have we played today? We played the mirror, played a Phi, played a Prism. Let's see. Well, I'm about to play a Viserai. Look at that. This one I'm not too terribly sure where I want to be. I think I want to do AB1. I'm going to do the fatigue strap. Just because I know it, like, works. It's fine. We'll try this, but I think there's a lot of merit to actually playing Buckler and just one AB. If they're on, like, Rosetta Thorn, sure, but, like, almost none of them are, right? So, we'll just try this. Appreciate you stopping by. Okay. This hand doesn't really do anything. Just swing hammer. Swing the hammer. You think Crown over Hood is right? Yeah. Especially if you're playing Tunic. I think that's fine. Okay, so they're banishing a widespread annihilation. Okay. Yeah, almost all of them are playing like this Grimoire, or they're playing like the double weapon. So it's hard to say. I haven't played this matchup a whole lot, but I think there's merit in both ways. Like I think this is decently favored for Bravo, maybe. I haven't lost, but that doesn't mean a whole lot. Alright, so Deathly Well, playing an incantation, sure. So they're setting up, taking a bunch of blood debt. Maybe we just like dominate.
Hit you with the big one. I've been told by very smart fab players to just swing your weapon and they lose because they fatigue themselves. This card art is so good, but I can never remember what this card does. Okay, if a hero has lost life this turn, you may play this as though we're an instant, create an eloquence token. Okay. So it's like, you play a non-attack action at instant speed to get a token that says your next thing gets instant speed, I guess. It's like, sure. Do some cool combat tricks with it, I'm sure. Phantom Wraith. Art of War. Alright, so it's buff and draw 2 cards. We banish that. Are they paying a life? If they are, that means we're full black. I don't think they are. Yeah. That's fine. And then this is 7. Kind of awkward here. Not really. We can just block with this. Stink Blow. So they have no more rune chance, whatever the last card is. It's like, whatever. We'll arsenal this. Key form of disruption. I guess we're not going to arsenal that. I want to just block. There's like no weird situation with that, right? I'm going to pitch the Command and Conquer and just swing hammer. Rampart's pretty good against Flail, right? Oh. Yeah, watching out for Pump. That's fair. I forgot that people are starting to play Pump already. That would have been very good. Where did this come from? What is good? Okay. I thought I like drew a card off of a ponder or something. I was like, what the heck is going on? Oh crap. Hold on. Gotta go over to Talishar. Alright. I see. Just want to use a different card. That's fine. So they make one. They can play Deathly in this case. That makes sense. This looks like the Runaway Pummel list. Just because they're using the vexing. Alright, so that was a red mobs, guys, so we 100% just gotta get that thing out of the way. Are they paying one? They did not pay one. This is not buffed in any way, right? So I'm gonna just block here. Use the tunic to stop the whale if they decide to attack with that. Bing bang. Give me a surge. Yes. Attack with the flail. Do it. Oh, baited. heart is getting no value. It is blocking 3 technically. Alright, so they're at 27. Gotta look at that. See if they're not paying. Oh, because they had to play non-attack. Duh. Duh. I'm gonna block here and here. Play around that pummel like you were talking about. That'd be pretty good. Pummel would be strong here. Just gonna arsenal this guy. Pummel insurance, right? It's so good. Alright, so widespread. This is the thing that got me on stream at the Battle Hardened. That card hits something good. The Rune Gate, like, you're so boned. Okay, so it is likely going to be widespread. They are not paying. I think we just pay here. Pay again. Look at me, I'm Oldham now. They basically just took 4 from my hammer. It's so good. Okay. All these guys. Beseech. Okay, so it's a 0 for 3. That's pretty cool. Okay, so for 3 there. I'm gonna grab another widespread. I guess no, it can't be. Alright, so this is coming in for 9. Can I stop all of this? I think so. Oh, did I just take one? I did. I took one. Because their stupid thing. Pummel. So I paid attention to it every other turn, except for this one, and then it bites me in the ass. Widespread, I guess. Definitely well. This one, after the combat chain closes. So I've already taken damage, right? And they've taken damage as well. So I'm just gonna take some of this. Here, that's fine. Like, that's guaranteed gonna be up because they paid for life. Good crippling here if I really wanted to. Got 3 rune chance. We are not crippling. They pay a life this time. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I don't think they did. If I take one, I'm undoing it this time. helps, guys. Alright, Requiem. What is going on? The hero has not lost life this turn. Okay. Well, this is awkward. Develop. So they're just playing this card. It's only one rune chant. I'll fix this. Okay, and that does help me swing forward, right? Is there an argument to actually playing this? I don't think so. They have a D-Rack stuck in Arsenal, and that could be an argument for it. Just play that and just keep playing 4-card hands. It is not a D-Rack. Tunic. Okay, that gets +3. Cool, cool. You taking one? Paying another one? Alright, so this is like Rune Gate. This costs 1 less. Okay, so they're getting +6 here. Honestly, I'm just gonna... Well... I think I should probably just block here. I don't know. I mean, the worst that they can do, they have to make rune chance like, okay, maybe that's right. Just keep this card and play it. I can do a little bit of filtering here. That is not what I want. Honestly though, this doesn't have an on hit or a lost life. Should've just walked here too. All these misplays. Whatever. We have the light to play with. We're warring it up. They said peace. Okay. Yeah, they're just dead. Neat. I'm missing something here. I don't know why that's... Okay, sure. What is going on? I think there's a bug. I think because like it activated the rune chant. Because they activated the rune chant here. God, it took damage or something. It's like freaking out. How weird. Just going through the motions again. How is this allowed? Like, what? All right. We're under this. Yeah, okay. You're clearing it up. We got it. It is all good, opponent. Appreciate you being so cordial. Okay, so we're gonna dominate Spinal and probably kill him. We will see. Oh man. The song is gas. I think it was from Donkey Kong Country. It's like the underwater thing. Oh. Wait, I'm under war. Yeah, I shouldn't be dominating there. What the heck? I thought they fixed this. Did they not? Whatever. Oh, Jesus. They said, here's all of my D reacts at once. Wouldn't have mattered if it was dominated. That's awesome. That is awesome. Alright, well, not a pummel. That's okay. Yeah, I think they're probably just dead. Let's pay. Pay. Blah, blah. And that's it. Alright. Got another one. Another one in the books. Okay. My little stream deck thing, it will work eventually. I swear it. Alright, go back to 7. 7 wins. There we go. Okay.
Alright, let's go back to the main transition. Just keep jamming games. You keep getting good variety, right? So it's like been set, Fi, Mirror. What was the first thing I played? Ooh, a dash too? Golly. I'm gonna go first against dash. We don't want them set up just like a random item. This is a very bad matchup. So we will just do our best. I tried Rampart before against them. If they're on 4 items, you can actually kind of fatigue them. But I am not going to be going for that plan. Just seems not really where I want to be. Now, this is also awkward, right? Like, so with the Oasis, you can run Titan's Fist and Rampart, and then cut some of these sigils and whatnot. But without it, you got to run some of this like crap stuff, unfortunately. I think we want the blues to be able to just like play our stuff, right? So we'll keep these just because we kind of have to. I don't think we want the sync belows. This is just better. It's a 3-block, quote unquote, right? So we will go for it like this, and I do not expect to win. So, but I promise I will try. Try my best. This is a free dominated attack on turn 1, or it could be a showtime into a dominated thing. We don't have a surge, so we can't like go crazy with it. Yeah, I think we just... I want to go ahead and get some free damage here. I think this is just fine. They have the Bender. They're playing Accelerator, so at least this isn't Tree Frog Dash, because we would just lose that. Straight up loss. They are playing Unmovable. They got that for us. Okay, this hand is not great. Played another... No, they're loading the Pounder. Loading the Pistol. Playing an Induction Chamber. Well, this is not good for the home team. How about another dominated thing? I'm gonna stagger this. I'm probably gonna go Buckling, Sigil, Buckling. It's like fine. This is a matchup where I would really like to have at least one Pulverize in the list, but I really just don't think there's room if you're playing both shields. Okay, free damage. We love free damage. We can dominate a Spinal next turn. This is probably a D-React if I had to guess, but here we can't really do a whole lot with this. We're gonna... I want to Arsenal this, I think, so... Let's keep throwing dominated attacks. Pretend like they don't exist. Oh no. I'm at 37. Load. Pitch another blue, go ahead. You got it. T-Bone. Rude. Oh shit. I didn't need to do that. God damn it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. They didn't boost, so I didn't have to throw that in there. Just throw the boots. Bam! Got him. Alright, so they don't like a card in their hand. That's the only reason they would make a play like this. They are getting crushed? Question mark? Okay, no, they gotta react, right? Gotta have a react. Yep. So there's that reacting arsenal that we kind of figured was there.
Okay, this is pretty good hand. Go boom into that. I could dominate. No, I can't dominate. I can arsenal this. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds great. Throw the boys. Keep it up. Eventually, you will stop having D-reacts, right? One of these days. You've used 3. You've got like 17 more. A new pulse wave card that is just stuck here. Card is so good too. New set's gonna be sweet. Get your pulse waves, if you can. Card's gonna be played, that's for sure. Okay, so probably unimmovable because it's just how our life goes. Another one. Okay, well, that's 2 more D-reacts down. 2 more. Got him. The Tekla Foundry was not a necessary block on the opponent's part. I'm not really sure why they did that, but you know. We will take the wins when we can get them. Okay, Spark of Genius, they're getting their last item. Likely their last item. I don't want to assume, but usually if they're playing the split version, then they don't really want to play a whole bunch of items. This is probably guaranteed gonna hit unless they drew an unmovable, which would suck. Reinforced Line is also good, but you usually can't have both in your deck if you're playing unmovable versus reinforced. Back to the full screen. Okay. So this is a hit. Nice, nice. Alright, perfect hand. Keep throwing the boys. Till we can't throw them no more. Unmovable from Arsenal. Oh, no, we're just getting it. Just getting the damage. Love it. Ah! Trash hand. No, not like this. And it's 2 pummels. Jesus Christ. Well, we're throwing this in front as soon as we can. Honestly, I think I want to get rid of the Star Struck more than anything. With the round. Please, fix my hand. Arsenal, goodbye. What the heck? Stop. So, we can't even swing hammer for 6 next turn. That sucks. Whatever. I think it's probably just best to, like, block, pass the turn. Like, this is horrible. The worst. Okay, so they're attacking, blocking another card. Full board dash plus full red Bravo hand, not a good sign. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. We were giving them the business just a second ago, though. It was like back-to-back crippling crush hands, but then you draw these hands, and it's like, oh, well, not the best. Okay, so they are banishing. They're going in, brother. Here you go. There's a pummel. Just for you. Go ahead and shoot it. Come on. Like Achilles. Going Achilles accelerator on me. I think they're just trying to close the gap a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Oh, we're gonna arsenal that. This sucks. Actually, no, it's not that bad. We can go Command and Conquer, pummel it, block with this, arsenal that. Yeah. It's like the best that we can do. Warmongers is decent in this matchup, but I'm just going to be blocking with it for now. Got 1, 2, block. I've used a lot of their reacts, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No. Yep. Honestly, I got a couple more. Yeah, no blocks. And they have 2 IR things. That's cool. Okay, they hit an unmovable off of that. They're going to 1. 1 resource. All these dash players getting risky with it. It is what it is. I'll take it. And now we are going to be behind. But they cannot be playing Reinforce the Line, right? So this is a very good card here. Oh boy. And if for whatever reason they give us the whole hand, then as long as we draw 2 blues, we can Zealous Belting Pummel Hammer, which is also pretty good. Okay. Don't mind if I do. Okay, they arsenaled a T-Bone. Well, that just tells you how free this matchup is for Dash. When they can arsenal T-Bones and still, like, you know, beat me up like this. Okay, let's look at our hand. So it's 5, 1 floating. So we can do 16 damage turn. They have 1, 2, a bunch of 3 blocks, right? So get their entire hand, dominate. I think that's what we have to do. Let's just use this entire hand to go, like, here's 16. Sure. Misclick that discard. That's fine. That's fine. They misclick the discard. Alright, so we know this hand is exactly what we're gonna do. What did they discard before? Probably should have looked it up. Never seen Blue T-Bone put into an arsenal before. Thought it was a reinforce. Yeah, with them playing unmovables, I was like, there's no shot they're playing reinforce in this. I just can't do both, right? Okay. Curious what the chat saw it, let me know. Here. Here's some armor. Just for you. This is gonna eat their entire hand next turn. Oh shit. Well. They haven't boosted, so it's not like they can just no block. No bucks. That card is so scary. Every single time I see it, I'm like, oh no, Thoughtseize. Not like this. What if they had another item? If they had another item, they're dead.
be pretty good. Are we gonna get this dash? It's looking pretty good. Like the hardest matchup. This and Briar, I think are probably my hardest ones. All the other ones are pretty fair. Lexi can be difficult if they are damage stacking properly. We've had such a good variety of games today. It's been great. Taking the bender. And the stink below. Very big fan of that card. Another one. Them having no counters too, like I don't think they can do anything. Yeah. Just give me one more card, they can go like a load. If they wanted to with their blue. Get one card, give me the yellow. Alright, down to two. Down to two. Alright, don't brick. Not a brick. Love to see it. Very good hand, actually. So I can go rouse into... I don't think I can risk the macho at this point. I don't know. They don't have any armor. If it's an unmovable, we just kind of lose. But this is going to rip every card out of their hand anyway, right? So... they've used a lot of their D-reacts. They still have Fate for Scene. There are two. No, I don't think there's any way. Okay. Now there's a way. Seven and block 6. Yeah, I think it's still just play the rouse. It's over. If they end up leaking one here, then this motto is going to be guaranteed lethal. Because of the tunic, and we only need 2 cards, which is great. I didn't even realize that. Okay, so they have no cards. We can do it all, actually. This, guaranteed. Into Macho Grande. Yeah, that was really bad on my part. I thought it was a 6 instead of a 4, but it ended up being fine just because of the state that we're at with them being at 1. Alright, they want a rematch? Let's do it. Let's get a rematch. Alright, so we gotta win against the dash. Okay, so I think we just keep it like this. The Anathos plus the
Zealous belting, like that's just kind of where you want to be. Don't really want these. Definitely don't want those. Yeah, this deck is just weirdly structured for dash, right? Okay. What's up, Chase? Are you not at work already? Or you probably just woke up, actually. Nice win. Very nice win. Now, it kind of like... the game kind of gave it to us. Because I was able to get like back-to-back crippling crush turns, kind of like this one. So, if they really just want to keep this whole hand, but of course we're going to block. So they're high octane, draw a card, cantripping, loading, load. Loady, loady. I think we just give these up. This is a very high value card, so I think we're going to just keep it. And we'll overblock some of these and then decide to shoot. Currently driving to work. Well, you should probably pay attention to the road. But if you're listening, that's fine. So they're hyper pitching into Teklo. Yeah, they're just filtering their hand. Kind of like the trick that we do with Bravo, right? So let's do the thing. Because why not? That is the way we want to be. Dominate, crippling crush. Hope that you don't have a D-react. Nice. I'm getting so much armor this early. This is good. Good stuff, good stuff. We'll go Rouse, Thunderquake, Chokeslam. Okay. Yeah, so we got the whole shebang. Keeping a large hand. Now this hand sucks. I might just play the Showtime. Because we will have a Tunic on 3 on the follow-up turn. Is that really... I think I do want to play this Showtime. Oh no. Yeah, we're just gonna play the Showtime, screw it. I mean, if all they're doing is shooting twice, right? Like, who cares? So it's hand filtering for them as well. Because if I just throw a cranial, they're probably pretty happy going like, yeah, here's 2 cards, I'm gonna play something, and then like pass the turn, right? So best card is probably just crippling, call it a day. Yeah, I got another card from me. Alright, don't break. I want you. You are my friend. I'm probably gonna block with the Warmonger. Just because we get a free draw. And we can dominate the Spinal or dominate the Crippling based on what the draw is. I'm gonna let this one hit. They swing it again. They go load, load, swing. I'm just hoping they like maybe boost or something. And I can get the actual full 3 value off of the Warmonger block. Just playing it. very awkward. Very, very awkward. I could just blow up these Creator Fists. Just go crazy with it, right? No, we don't want to do that. If this was blue, we could have done that, but we're not going to do that. Keep this. Let's just throw it. Have both. I did not expect that to crush. I'm gonna be honest. Did not expect that to crush at all. It was weird when it does this. I've got one extra card. Watch out. Okay. Okay, load, load, load. Then go shoot. Go again. Load, shoot. Go again, load. What is your other card? How are you not just like blowing me out of the water? Oh, okay. Let's see. Well, you can have 3 block. I'm gonna give you the Creator Fist too, just in case I do want to end up using it. And we're gonna take the 2. Get the go again. Take another 2. Maybe. I mean, yeah, right? Like, just do it. Okay. Oh, you got the double load. Nice. So I'm gonna go 32 this turn instead. Nice, nice, nice. Them not getting their items super early is extremely fortunate. This is just a dominated spinal here. And then best hand would be 3 blues and a pummel. Best hand. For sure. They won't be able to stop this crush unless it's specifically unmovable. Okay, they got it. They're blocking a little inefficiently. We'll say that. Okay, so this hand is play Terror Thunder, attack the enemy. That's it. That's all it is. No. Stop it. Okay, so they for sure have to have a D-react here. But I don't really have a better play. I could keep a Rouse, I suppose. But we gotta burn through these reacts anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and play it. I mean, it's gotta be an unmovable, or not, sorry. Sink below or something. That, yeah, watch. Boom! Sink below. Read you like a book. Okay, this is this hand can get better if I crown this away and get a blue. Would be very good. Give me a blue. Yes. Nice. Alright, so now I can dominate Spinal and then pummel the crap out of him too. Love to see it. I will likely not pummel unless I know that the crush effect is not going to happen. Okay, playing a Plasma Purifier. Sure, we're going to dominate. Give you big boy. Yeah, because this is probably not going to be able to be blocked out, and he's going to be crushed. I'm not going to use the pummel. Because I can have hands like this, and I can just pummel Zealous Boltyn. And keep a Iyslander. Hell, that's awesome. It's so good. So good. Barbo. The second coming. Jesus. Good lord. We're gonna arsenal this. This was one of my favorite plays in the Grumpy Bravo list, also known as the Oldham list that people started playing with Anathos, where you have Tunic, your Pummel, and then Zealous Boltyn. Like, oh man, the efficiency is insane. Insane. Okay, so we got a high octane. I'm pretty happy. Just going. Here's another Iyslander or something. I think this is better used blocking here. There's not a way that we can go like Iyslander into Macho for the max roll. It's just better to go Anathos. This is the best block. I guess technically, now that they have a Purifier, it's fine to block the pistol. This has been a very good game. Very fortunate that they haven't had all the items, because it's turn 8 and they still don't have but 3. It's like super good. But because it is turn 8, they're going to start seeing their T-reacts, and it's going to make these Iyslanders hot garbage. Now what we're really hoping for is a relevant hand, like a relevant red. Would be great. The pistol.
Open your eyes.
Got me. Again. Back to back. Okay, well, we didn't block the other ones. We're not going to block this one either. So you shoot like a couple more times here. Yeah, and go like, well, no, because it's only 1 AP. So I guess they can load, double load here. They probably. It was boosted. That was a boosted card. But man, that sync bullet would have been a lot better. In your hand for Arsenal. Now this thing is gonna be so good. Unmovable would suck. That's it though. Alright, not unmovable. Don't you do it. It's well, might not be. Okay. Woo. Nice. Right. Okay. Oh, we could tear asunder.
Iyslander hammer again. And then pummel it if we need to. This is gross. I had to think about it for a second. I got there though, don't worry. I got there. Okay, unmovable. Oh. And they're done. Very dead. Alright. Good sport. Good sport. Alright. Good game there. Let's see if we can get another meta deck. Maybe like a Lexi or something. That'd be a good one. Try the I think you want to go Buckler in the Lexi. Buckler, all the blocking stuff. Just play a good amount of cards, right? Sigils. I could see cutting Heart, actually. Maybe. Staunch is surprisingly okay against them. It's like fine. 2-card block. Especially like you want your costed stuff with your Heart. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna play another dash, unfortunately. Already done 2. Okay, I'll play another Vin set. I will. Okay, we're gonna try the secondary equipment loadout. So what I did before, for those of you who were not here, I did this loadout, kind of fatigue strap. Now I think what I want to do, I actually might keep Rampart. It's not bad, but we'll keep the Crown of Providence because they're never doing any like additional. And if they're on Rosetta Thorn, then I guess I got, right? It is what it is. But yeah, we just take out this card, and Heart of Final plus Rampart is just so good. Like, easy fatigue. But I think the Crown of Providence is actually like kind of worth using because I do have the widespread destruction, I think is what it's called. Yeah, very good card. Very good card. Alright, so they are on the double. They're playing Vexing. This is likely the pummel list. So what I'm going to do here is just overpitch a little bit, and we'll keep the 3 block in hand. It's ready to go, swing that. We'll have the unmovable for the arsenal. Okay. That is free to me. Arsenal you. Now we have pummel protection. Now the rest of this is just going to be us blocking pretty much the entire time. This is going to come in for 7. Do they pay? They do not pay. Now we pay. Now we get to stop the breakpoint that they're presenting to us, right? So we go block. Okay. No go again on this. Attack. I think this is just how you win this matchup, right? You just like block efficiently, swing a 1-for-4. That does not do any deck damage to you. It's just like kind of free. Okay, we got a widespread. Take 1 here. We'll keep this crippling, I suppose. They didn't pay 1. There's nothing to pay actually. Interesting. Okay, so I think it's just. How do I do this? I'm not gonna. Okay, so this is Arsenal hate. I'm gonna take this one. Then I'm just going to pay this. Just because, like... Well, I could have, like, paid for this. Actually, yeah, that would have been way better. Oops.
Well, let's use the tunic and we'll send a command and conquer. It's like not terrible, right? With the arsenal to sink below again. I had to read this card. I thought it was like only a trigger if it was played from Banish. No, it's just any time. It's just basically CNC. So. Yellow CNC. This card is so good. I have like Vietnam flashbacks from seeing this card. Okay, they're getting rid of the crown. We still have pummel insurance. We have many pummel insurances. Now, the Scepter of Pain. This is deal 1 arcane damage to any opposing target. Okay, so we can stop that. That's no big deal. So, Deathly Delight. Getting rid of that. So many people playing Baldur's Gate right now. I keep getting notification. Yeah, Vexing is pretty cool in this deck too. The more and more I see it, it's just like, oh yeah, I really need to like make this one card play. Pop it, go up to like 3, and play one of your busted cards. Alright, so they're casting? I mean, there's no downside to this card actually hitting, so I'm just pretty happy going Paper Scene, and if they do, for whatever reason, try to pummel us, then that's fine. We have the Sink Below. Alright. We'll clap back at you for a Spinal Crush. Okay, giving us all the cards. They're going to banish another card. Yeah, this hand doesn't do what I want. Overpitch. Okay. I like the hand enough. Hard to find blocks 3. I'm telling ya. Card's good. They pay 1? Nope. They didn't play a non-attack. Can't pay 1. Alright, yep, they're just, they're done playing this. Okay, well, we know how that was going. So, that is a win. Go up to 10. There we go. Okay. So we got a couple of Vinsets done. Who are you? Okay. I mean, we always want to go first against these style of decks, right? So, this is one of those where I think it is optimal to go AB2 and then having this setup here. Because they do play Thorn. They always will. You can keep all the rest of the cards, just go to 66. Call it a day. Alright. Well, this hand does not do much. Except maybe swing the hammer. They're on Nebula Blade. That's interesting. So, they're on Nebula Blade. Let's just pitch this. We'll overpitch. Yeah, we'll let them fix their hand just a little bit. Just a little bit. I wanted to see what the other deck was that we played. Back to the telephone screen. Oh man. That is a very unfortunate hand for you, sir. So we could go like just dominate a Crippling Crush and just like ruin their day. Honestly. honestly, I'm probably gonna do it. So they have reinforced the line, Runic Reckoning. This card is like super cool. I like that card a lot. Unfortunately, our Scarf or Scars are not turned on. So Heart of Final doesn't give us life. So give us this, give us another card, maybe have a D-React. Reinforce the line, okay. More and more people are playing this instead of actual D-Reacts. I guess if you're trying to specifically target Bravo, that's a good play. So this does not have to go again. There's no reason to do anything here besides I can dominate the Spinal, that would be annoying for me. Card on bottom, please. Thank you. Dominate. I was thinking about playing this card, but it's not really a good opportunity to do so. This is just better, I think, in general. Pushes some of this armor out. Probably gets a card. Already seen one reinforce the line. They pitched another one, so it's on the bottom. So they're probably on the 3, so they could get lucky and have the other one. But, yep. Keep going. I think we're still getting crushed. Oh, no D-React. Yeah, okay. This is the expected block without a D-React, so... I only have 1 armor left. If I was them, I would have probably blocked with the Iron Weave. Just so I can have the opportunity to play it if I need to. Okay. Kind of annoying. Here. So, I'm gonna go ahead and start paying for some of this. I should have cut this, I think. I don't know, they do have the buffs now. Like that, the Runic card that they pitched with the Reinforce. We do not want this to hit. That is a bad news bears situation. So, I don't want this card that much. I can't do anything next turn anyway because of the way that we're playing this handout. Well, this is honestly pretty decent news as we get full value out of this block. Get a free arsenal. Nice. Viserai. He's so cool. The Purple Man. Tabbed out. So this Drowning Dire. This is dominated. It's coming in for 1. Bolt pitch. This is the one where it hits and you put an attack. I'm going to put a non-attack action card from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck. Okay, because it is dominated, I'm just going to... Well... To me, it's just like kind of free to do that, right? I'd rather have these sync belows. Yeah. Let's just do it like this. Attack for 4. That could gum up our arsenal. So I think it's probably just better to get rid of it now. Like,
Yes, there are some cards that they play that this would get full value out of, like a Shrill. I don't know if they are playing that, but even Amplify is better than that Drowning Dire, right? So, and then they have the runic buffs. So, okay, this is a hand that plays Starstruck, so I love it. And nuts. No relevant on hits, so we're just gonna do this. Play this nice mid-rangey game. This will likely get 2-3 blocks and their Aether. Bad to guess. Rattle Bones. This card is so good too. We haven't seen a swarming at all. Very interesting. There's no shot. Yeah. Okay. So D-React. Still have a functional 3-card hand, most likely. They're on Nebula Blade, and it has not been swung a single time. Okay. They have Ninth Blade. Okay, there's that Runic Reckoning card that we've been talking about. So that is a +3 there. Okay, there's the Swarming. Speak of the devil. So this is coming in for, this makes 1, so it's going to come in for 7, right? Okay. I'm making my decision. I'm going to block here, block here. I don't need to attack here. I don't really care to. So I'm not going to get rid of these cards. I would rather have this pummel ready to go. So we are going to game 3 and pass. Now what we could do, if we really wanted to, depending on how they play their hands, Spinal, Dominate, into pummel, blow them out of the water. So this gives you a non-attack if you create an aura this turn. I mean, from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck, like, do I really care? I really don't. It's like, it doesn't do anything. I could cover it up, but I'm just gonna make a play. Dominate. Now I feel like a fool running the hood into their Nebula Blade. Lord. I think we played Prism first. That's what it was. They get crushed on this, I'm gonna not do anything. So, whatever. I guess they get Creepers. That would be pretty good. So next turn, I'm probably gonna be blocking all the Arcane that I can. Alright, now I'm gonna pummel them, so. A lot of different things. Sure. Got him. Big crushed. Now, if they have like a read the runes, that would be annoying. Okay, we're gonna go here, and we're gonna put Rouse there. This hand blows. At least I got the pummel out, so I'm not stuck with it. It's good. I'm gonna keep this in hand, actually. We're gonna put this guy in arsenal, so we have some options. Rattle bones. What could you get? It's probably a shawarma. Swarming bluebill. Nope, it's an amplifier. Okay, this makes more sense because they have a mob. So we have to block this out as a fact. We haven't seen a single shrill, so that makes me feel like probably not on it. So math-wise, like, I think we have to get rid of one of these, maybe. I'm gonna get rid of the Thunderquake. It's okay. They haven't seen a single Mordred type either. Honestly, it's probably not bad to just give this a sync blow and try to get a blue. Look at you. There's the blue. Nebula Blade. Pay for it. Played non-sack, so we're gonna just give him the paper scene that we. Let's put that on bottom. First, Nebula Blade swing. Consider me got. Oh, no! They like their hand. Don't do it to me. Well, they're tanking really hard for liking their hand. So the Blanger Runic. Okay. Okay, so that bad boy is for 6. Oh, here's 6, just for you. Since you've been a good boy, I'll give you the 6. Ooh. Alright, so that's coming in for 7. We found them! There they are. Big value on Staunch, right? Bing bang pow. Arsenal paper scene past the turn. Got him. Got him. Ooh. Good hand. Don't do anything, opponent. Pass the turn. Draw all non-attacks. Got him. Alright, so how many... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We used all of our D-reacts. So our deck is all gas now, right? It's just all gas. Can't lose. Oh, they did the thing that I wanted them to do. Easy peasy. Don't mind if I do. Golly, it's hard being this good. That is a joke. It's just a very lucky situation for me.
are not as lucky as I once intended or was hopeful. Whatever. 3 damage is 3 damage. Our 4 card 3 damage. Oh no. Alright, this hand is medium AF. It plays Command and Conquer. It's good. Because it's a bunch of blues. Or not a bunch of blues. Might need to pitch this, arsenal this, play this, attack with this. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Getting Rattlebones. What is the card that you want? Maybe Amplify. Okay. Do you have a source of Go Again? I do not think so. I do not have a source of Go Again. So I can give them a good amount. I'm going to Arsenal this Crippling. They're going to keep an Arsenal card, right? So the blue is best served paying for the Rune Chance. Not paying for that Rune Chant or that one. There is no relevant on hits, as we already know. And they are creepering. Ooh. Yeah, this is not good for me anymore. Oh, no. Alright, well, we're blocking with these cards now, so that's fine. Or one of them. One of them? Yeah, this is really bad. I'll give you that. We do need blues. So we knew this was happening. I think it's honestly better to keep Command and Conquer here than anything else. We need to give a block. I'm actually gonna pitch this because this does sort of the same thing. Actually, it might just be better. Okay, then we're block. Hit 1. Alright, no Rune Chant for you. Arsenal pass. I'm playing the Mob Skies. It's a yellow one. Deathly Duets. You are pitching a non-attack, making some Rune Chants, coming in for some numbies. Big numbies. Always block with Imposing. That card sucks. Unless you have a full blue hand, then it's pretty good. Because these at least attack. For Dominate sometimes. Yeah, this is mid. It's very mid. They have no arsenal. So what do? I'm fine with it. Fine keeping this card. Prefer to block with it, so that's why we pitch this one back in the deck. Taking it. Oh, lots of blues. Ooh, this is a pummel play. Alright, Mordred Tide coming in for a bunch. There is no Go Again. Rebel had to pitch a Mordred Tide. Not looking good for the op. Oh, shit. We're gonna pay some of this. I didn't mean to pass through that. Oops. Yeah, we're going to just block with this guy like we were talking about and take one. Alright, this is just an efficient turn, which is why I'm willing to do this, even though they don't have an arsenal. And a lot of times the Viserai will like arsenal a card there. Ooh, man. They are in the thinker. Thinker stinker. I'm curious. Let's see. So they pitched a Rebel and a Mordred. Okay, this hand is honestly not terrible. Next attack costs less. They're playing this card. Okay. Oh man, watch me lose. Is there any on hits? I don't think so. I'm just gonna play this Warmongers and pass. What do they choose? They chose peace. Okay, so they're setting up. Read the runes. Great. Sounds good. Now they have a reinforced line, probably at this stage. So that is 2 cards though. 2 cards out of them. All right, let's do it. It's probably that reinforce. They have a 9th blade as well, so we gotta be a little bit weary of that. Very mid-range Viserai list. We're not gonna see. Might see Rebels soon. Oh, okay. Just taking it. Cool. I'm in. I'm in. Yeah, I think they are dead. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to do something. So. Okay. I'm not gonna take those. Let's do that, just because we can. Go to 8. Or 2, I mean. Take 8, go to 2. Tunic. Macho Grande Special. Hit him with the Taco Bell Special, the Nacho. Macho Bell Grande. Love to see it. No! I was so ready. I even talked about that cartoon. Shit. Whatever. Oh. They very well could be dead anyway. Make sure I don't do anything stupid. I think we just give them these 2 cards. Yeah. And we dominate a blue chokeslam. Whee! Good game. Fun stuff. Alright, come on. There we go. Main menu. Alright, let's keep it going. Let's keep the train going. Alright, so we have played against a Bravo. 2 dash. Same dash. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is 5. 5 is Prism. 6, 7 is Vincent. Okay. This is another Vincent. Well, we're getting our practice against Vincent, that's for sure. Alright, we're gonna keep this. I actually like that a lot. If they're on Rosetta Thorn, then rip. But we probably can't lose anyway, so it's fine. We will see what happens. Not saying that they can't win, but I think it's very unlikely. Borvo Bonks. I hit them with the good luck, have fun. Maybe they'll reply. Aw, it's a Findle, dude. Yeah, so we've been doing this pretty much every time. You're going to pitch like this. Arsenal the Pummel Insurance. They are on Rosetta Thorn. No! We're gonna get got. Oh, okay. Always lucky. Rosetta Thorn. How many Vinsets? There we go. Got it all. Chain of Nephthys. How do we say that? Shut up, puppetry. Coming at me. Did they pay one? I don't think so. I mean, honestly, we'll just probably keep most of this. It gets +1. Pay 2. Pay... Talishar is so bad about telling you when they pay one or when they don't. It's super infuriating. Whatever, man. He's just gonna make it happen. Whatever. Just annoying. Alright, so this one is they gain life, right? Just block here. Very weird attacks. Otherwise, I would have considered using the move warrior. A bunch of blues. This card is so good. This card is ridiculous. It being a block 3 blue, it's just like crazy. Ooh. Alright, they're at 37. We all see that. If they go to 36, we do not pay the first AB. It does not happen.
Hello, opponent. I don't know. Maybe they have a very weird hand. Like they could attack with it too, right? Yeah, they could. I'm gonna let them sit for just a second. We'll do about, let's do 30 seconds. And if they don't make an action, then I'm gonna take the victory. I don't want to. I'd like to play the game out, but we have more games to play. It's been like zero Lexies and stuff. I think I'm gonna start using the hood just in case they start doing stuff like this. Alright. Well, I'm not going to necessarily call that a win. So I'm not gonna like put it in the win streak. But it is gonna show as a win over here. But I mean, we should be almost 100% into this anyway. Try to get like 2 more in, then we'll call it. Alright, guys. This is feeling good. I'm liking it. I haven't missed tech plating much at all. Except for in the mirror. It was very annoying not having it in the mirror. Okay, we're playing against a Briar. Alright. This is maybe going to be a good showcase for this deck, right? Try it out. Okay, we got all the right stuff. That's a good look. Have fun. See a mirror match with Tunic on your side? I have done a mirror match and I lost. But they were also on Tunic, so it's like whatever. Here, honestly, like I don't really want to do anything. I'm just gonna pass. Like, ugh, look at this. Got him in both hands. I'm over here like, bing bang. Yeah, I'd love to do a mirror. I'd do another mirror. The deck is like kind of awkward for the mirror, just because you have like so many of the 0 costs, like Warmongers and then your pummels and all that kind of stuff. Maybe it was just a weird variance game. My pitch stack was good. It's just, eh. All right, so they made a rune chant. We're going to pay 1 here, as we can. We'll block the 3. Because we can. Okay, that is a 0-4. You can have my pick soon. We're gonna bottom. Actually, this is not terrible. Ow. And they're now going to think that I'm full fatigue. And it's going to be hilarious when I pivot on them and then they die. Maybe with Sledge, with Tunic over Anathos. Maybe you want to play Anathos besides the mirror. Anathos is more efficient with Zealous and Rouse. But that's actually a really good point. Like maybe we do just want to play Sledge. That is a good point. Huh. That's smart. I like that a lot. Alright, we're gonna give him 3 cards. If
efficient blocks. You can stop some reacts and stuff. They're playing Electrify, so that's how they're kind of doing their damage push. Yep, we are good. Taking a Rune Chanty. Rune Chanter, boys. I need to stop this because of the Electrify. I mean, that card's pretty good. We'll bottom it. Save it for second cycle. Okay. I actually think... I think this is worth more now to stop some of this this damage, maybe. This is tough. I'm gonna go ahead and pitch. I feel like this could be wrong. Just prevents the most amount of damage at this case. Because there's no guarantee that that Warmongers is like busted in half, right? Okay, they are not paying into the Sonata. They are. Anyway, what do they reveal? Plays Sonata reveals 3 cards. Command and Conquer, Snatch, and Gorganian Tome. So he picked Command and Conquer. I think it's fine. I'm gonna pay for this. Pitch the Iyslander. Yeah, I kind of want to try Sledge now. That's a super good point, Nomad. Very interesting. Alright, so CNC coming at my face. Just give him the blues. Arsenal my own. Says no go again. No way to give it go again. They're playing Crown of Dominion, which means that they're on cash ins. So we need to look out whenever they play a channel. We need to have some kind of relevant reaction, because that's when they're going to start doing their ground or their cash in turn. If they can do both at once, right? So okay, they're just blowing their load now. Sounds good. Going at it, bro. Going at it. Alright. I don't think there's a huge reason to use that now. Okay, so they hit 2 cards. Maybe a blue, maybe 2 reds. Probably 2 reds, because they already pitched a couple of blues. Commotion and Swine Lightning. They're playing... Oh. Okay, they're paying into it still. Am I out of my mind? Hold on. Oh, they only get 1. I gotcha. Let's see what they want to say to me, chat. They can undo. I don't care. Do it. What a nice guy. Get a round of applause for Larks over here, being a quality gamer, telling me that they undid, because they made an error, selected 2 on accident. They apologized and said, just didn't want me to think that they were cheating. And, that's just solid, you know? Good, wholesome guy. God. Stop what you're doing. I hate it. Okay, so this is a big boy. it's like 10, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can do that. They do not have an arsenal. Maybe it's worth going Warmongies. I don't have. Alright, we're just gonna let this happen, of course, but is this a good spot to use this? Probably, because they can't get double go again and play 2 cards. Let's do that. We'll analyze and see how good it ended up being for real. I don't like giving away the Crater Piss this early, if I can help it. But, I mean, if you're going to stop something, the Snatch is a good thing to stop. Right. Warmongers. Here we go. Bang. Blow ya out of the water, I hope. Yeah, we're gonna try Sledge now. Good. What do they choose? They chose War. Are we surprised? Not at all. They are a little less, funny enough. Okay. I think I'm okay actually taking a little bit of damage here. I can go Command and Conquer if I need to. I would rather keep. I don't care if they get the embodiment here, right? But we don't want their other scars to be turned on. Now this Warmongers looks like it probably did very little. We just need to take a little bit of damage so those scars aren't insane. Hey, look at that! We did the thing. It worked out. It worked out. Insanity. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Take a little bit more damage. I'm okay with it. If they burn their snaps, their last card is likely something that is a little more relevant. So either way, we get to play this Command and Conquer, have 1 card in hand. They have to think about what they want to do with that, right? Because it's definitely a bluff to pummel based on the Tunic. If we burn the Tunic now, we can't make that play. To go like Rampart, I mean. Like Tunic Rampart. Alright, so we're doing this. 1 card in hand, 1 floating, Tunic on 3. And they're like, oh god. What have I done? They're still at 40. Good lord. Oh, okay. Well, so screw it, take it. That's so funny. They arsenaled a Tome of Harvest. So me pummeling them was their get out of jail free card. That's so funny. Jesus Christ. They're like, I knew you had Command and Conquer. I knew it. Alright, Force of Nature. I want to keep Sync, I think. It depends. So what did they reveal? They revealed Earthworm Surge. So 2 tomes. Yeah, they were about to get bricked. Hardcore. Okay, they're playing Earthworm Surge. Some attack. And then a Rosetta Thorn. Alright, there's a Snatch coming in for 8. I have blocked with 0 pummels. I'm okay with blocking with this one. So, yeah, it's immediately Thorn. Give you these. Okay, we're gonna pay the 2. Now you see the power of Baby 2 and Rampart in action. Took 1 damage from that exchange. Now we're not presenting anything back, but your deck size is way lower than ours. Now, what I would love to be able to do, love, is block here with Debilitate and Sync Blow or something, whatever they're doing, right? And then find like a CNC or some relevant play. Be the best. But, I don't know, that's okay. Pulse of Candle Hold. They're getting likely Force of Nature and maybe Lightning Surge? I mean, I guess it would probably be Force of Nature plus Channel, I guess, but they're about to tell us. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Lightning Surge is a good play too, though. I think Lightning Surge plus Force is what I would like automatically gravitate towards, because they do have the snaps. They can potentially make a pretty solid play. Yep, there it is. Exactly what we were saying. I'm gonna make the play where I'm gonna play a Debilitate and just pummel it. I mean, that's the best I got. But it is Disruption, so, like, it's fine. I haven't played an attack, so this is just coming in for 2. It doesn't really matter. Go 30. Now, they're drawing Force of Nature. They're drawing Lightning Surge. 2 unknowns. No Arsenal, so that's good news for us. Here you go, friendo. Yeah, I'm gonna start playing Sledge. I think that's good. That's good. They're like, no, not Pummel, no, my precious cards. Bet it is either one of the unknown cards or Force. Oh, look at that. It's great. Playable hand. Love to see it. Now, I blocked with the Pummel. The other Pummel, I think, is on the bottom of the deck, or like in the middle. So, if I park one of these cards in my arsenal, it's just gonna be sitting there for a little while. So, okay, they discarded a Force, but then they ended up playing another Force, and it was Weave Earth. It's the fuse. Okay, and then. Force. Okay, so this is coming in for 8, right? I think it is this double? Might be double. It's double. I don't want to pay. Oh shit! No. Well. Do this. Okay, how do I dig myself out of this situation, right? Okay. I think I just... Dang, man, this is hard. I'm gonna use this. Okay, 1. Oops, there. I can pay the 2 for the Rosetta Thorn. I'm going to use this to hopefully unbrick my hand a little bit. Spinal is unplayable, so we're going to get rid of that. Okay. Alright, we're blocking with this now. Oh, it didn't have go. No, it did have go again, did it not? That must be crazy. I'm tripping, bro. Yeah, just do nothing. A whole lot of nothing. Ugh, bad hands. But they block. It's a fact. Can I get rid of this with a sink below? Depending on how they react. Seen 2 channels. Bang bang. We are looking pretty good, considering we are at a higher life total than our opponent, who has been smashing our face in. Did have a good pummel play though. Well, good. Well, there's the other one. But they're pitching a force to do this. Sus. Okie dokie. Give me a blue. Please. Please, blue. Blue. Ah. Gosh. Alright, well, this blocks for 7. Big fan of this. Blue on top right now. It is a blue, but it's one that doesn't block. So, like, it blocks fine. It's just, I'd rather guarantee some 3 blocks. Jesus. Take the sword. You got me. All right. See, look, bottom one through the other one. Are kind of running us out of cards too. Okay, so they made a chanty boy. This is probably go again, so they get the sword value. I mean, it's just free, right? It's just way better. Okay, so this is 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do some math real quick. So we can stop all of that with this. Then we need to pay another 2 there. This card is not very useful at this stage, but I can overpitch to it, I guess. Or I can take some of that damage and then swing it back. I think I'm okay with that. Alright, we'll take it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I've taught myself into it. And I'm gonna pitch Tear here. Because I can stop the Fool here, and he doesn't get the embodiment, that's pretty good. I guaranteed taking 4, that's fine. Triple Daddy, sir. Keep it going. Just give me 3 cards. It's fine. Oh my gosh. You had that many 2 blocks in your hand? I am sorry, opponent. Hand sucks. Oh well.
Choose your fighter.
Can't do anything with this. Maybe?
Fight.
What's that?
gonna arsenal up. We're at a stage like this is fine. Gain some life. Arsenal. Cash in. And cash in. Rabble. It's not very playable hands. Another one. Give me that. If you have a snaps, that's so annoying, but like, if you're ending with a snaps, it's whatever, right? So. Okay, so breaking the chain there, that's good. Big value. Okay, they don't want to break the chain. Okay, it is a snatch. Hell. This sucks. Whatever. Take it. I had a feeling it was probably going to be a snatch, but that's the last snatch of the game, so, like... not too terribly upset about that. We knew it was coming, we knew it was coming. How many CNCs we got? Oh, look at that. There he is. Alright, so we're going to try to just block the one relevant thing and then clap back with a CNC pummel. I actually don't want to take the arcane here. Or, do want to take the arcane, because I want to be able to stop whatever relevant on hit that they may or may not have. Could be Command and Conquer of their own. That would be a big deal. So, and on their last attack, I have the ability for their sword to be able to pitch this other blue and then do the rampart, right? That's fine. This is go again. I could give 2 cards to guarantee that they don't have an embodiment, but I'm actually just going to not. Because if their last card is another attack, I'm pretty happy just... What is going on? Okay. Jeez. That's kind of like what I thought that they would do, right? So, alright. The thing. And then we have a good follow-up, too. Got the Starstruck with likely dominate because we have a million blues. And we've been blocking with a million reds. So. It's giving me 2 cards. 11. Okay. Okay. It's very awkward for them, it seems. Yeah, we had no idea, right, that the last card, like, they weren't going to swing another attack, so I think it was right to just take the E-strike. Blocking, they're trying to block efficiently here, which is fine. It's like, sure, whatever, but... Opponent? It's... They just said my brain is fried. They've already showed us like all the cards in their hand. Oh man. Good stuff, good stuff. That's so funny. Alright. You got it. You did it. The whole thing. Yeah. Alright. Well, there's a Starstruck here. can give one card too if we want to. You know, pop. One card Star Struck. Bang, bang, bang. Sword me. Sword me, Daddy-O. Yes. They said absolutely. I could have given Tunic here to prevent a life. Or save a life. Dominate, dominate. Starstruck is time walk. Time walk time. Card is insane. Okay, come on. Oh yeah. Game. Oh, like we didn't already know. And this is probably just going to lose them the game. Very likely. The art in this card is insane. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. That is a valid in-game option that you can do. Yes. Ooh. They're like, it isn't just weapons? Or they said it isn't just attack cards because they're trying to swing the weapon here. And I was like, yep, it's weapons too. And they said, wonderful, with an exclamation point. They said it's basically Time Walk from MTG. And I said, I love it. They said LaMau. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Good Starstruck times. Whee! Starstruck. 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 This pitch deck is gross. Gross, 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 gross. I think I'm just gonna throw this actually. Spinal Rush. Square opponent was a lot of fun. Very talky, very fun in the chat. Well, the Time Walk is a real magic card. You're right. Did you just look it up? Is that the first time you've seen it? Yeah, just take an extra turn. Easy peasy. This is actually kind of good for them, right? Like, well, it's not good for them, obviously, but this is a good block for them based on the way that I'm playing. Because I 100% could have just said dominate pass, but now they're at 1 and this. I'm sorry. I want to do it with this. We got to go the trifecta. You know what I'm saying? Just bing, bang, pong. This is fine. And fine.
mean, technically, we could just not give him that. Very good opponent. I like playing them a lot. Alright. I'm going to do one more. Let's hope it's not something we've seen. I want to see Alexi. Or Levia would be a good one to showcase. Need it for my Versus series. Alright, let me go back to the main. So where are we at? Had a good few games, and we are playing against a Viserai. I guess we'll play it. I'm gonna play the hood again. I think it's good. Like, it just gives you options, right? Like, do you need the crown? No. Is it better most of the time? Yes. But if they play Rosetta Thorn, you're just like, right, well. But if they're playing Rosetta Thorn, you're probably, like, winning that anyway, I would think. This is not Briar. So. Sorry, opponent. Just talking it up. Okay. So, this could be a showtime. I don't think it's needed or necessary in the slightest. So, I'm happier, I think, just maybe getting rid of this card, passing the turn, save the Terrace Under for later, right? And then here I'm like pretty cool reacting to whatever they want to do. I can throw my Command and Conquer if I want to. It's great. Alright, so we played 10 games. 9 wins, 1 loss. One of those wins was like basically not real because it was event set that timed out. All results. Okay. Sorry. People can go back. All right. Getting real with it. So they are. Oh, they just passed the turn. Okay. Starstruck does force 2 cards out of their hand, but it kind of does play into the plan that they want to play. Terrace Under doesn't do anything because it's a 5. Card is literal trash. I think just send the biggest number is probably where we want to be. We'll do it like this. And then I'm going to stack it to be Showtime Terrace Under Command and Conquer. Actually, it's going to be Showtime Command and Conquer Terrace Under. The reason is if I draw a Pummel and a Sink Below, I want it to be kind of close to that Command and Conquer. Okay, and this probably reduce. Yep. Alright, full. Not full block, but basically. Stop the crush effect. They did it. Alright, so again, we're here. This one. Okay, it was not a Pummel Sink Below hand. That's okay. You can always get to the second cycle on Arsenal, right? So this is going to be... Alright, they're at 36. Remember, 36. They are at 35 now. They paid. Okay, it's up here. Y'all should have told me that. Yeah, Starstruck is so good. Okay, so they're playing widespread. I cannot stop this. So I can break the chain. And we'll pay 1. 0, 1, 2, 3. Honestly, this doesn't have go again, right? It's +2. It's gonna eat one of the cards.
and it's a card from my hand. So maybe I just pitch this, and I can block here, here, here. And I'm okay taking one, because this is ripping my entire hand apart anyway. And I get to keep this better card, right? And it's next to a Rouse. I should have flipped them, because we have Command and Conquer blue, and I would want another blue and then Star Shark, ideally. But it might end up being okay, depending on the math of the deck, how it works out. We're at 66. Depends on what sequence we pitch that, right? So. Okay, I missed. Okay, so they chose Widespread Ruin. They're trying to figure out what they haven't played a non-attack. They're just doing this. That's it. This pummel is kind of unfortunate. I think I'm gonna block with it. Very good art. Okay. I mean, I guess if they like decide to pummel it, we can staunch it, I guess. I don't know. Jeez. Way, maybe we just do this. Actually, it doesn't have go again, and this would stop a pummel play. Yeah, this is better. I don't need to swing the hammer. It's not a big deal. Cause it, yeah. Oh, big brain, big brain, the biggest. So at all you're blocking with a pummel? How about my own pummel? Oh, I got him. Take your suit. Yep, we can bottom that this way. Get more D-reacts. More sigils. That's the turn. Sigil. Found it. And ideally we would be like sync blowing this Crippling Crush since it's like staggered enough, but either way. That being said, that actually was kind of fun. Okay, making a rune chant. Lord. Unfortunate hand. Pitching a pummel, okay. So that's one pummel we don't have to worry about for now. Deathly Well. Alright, so this is 5. Let's pay for it. Unfortunately, I'm gonna get these two up. If they pummel, that would suck. At least we have the sigil. Nice. Sink below. Phantom Wraith. They've had a widespread destruction. In Banish forever.
will they do? Whatever will they do? Okay. Nope, nothing.
I don't think this Vincent deck can be a block deck. As funny as that sounds. Maybe the staunch response sucks. Maybe we'll just get rid of it. Simple up.
It's odd that we have to use both the 3X.
Okay, decisions are being made. Another rune chant. Upper tree. They are paying 1, so we have to block whatever they're doing. Alright, so I'm not gonna pay that one. I am gonna pay that one. I'm gonna pay this one. And then we're gonna pay the staunch response, easy peasy. Easy. Got him. We're going to Arsenal and Staunch. It's typically the better card for Arsenal. And Oldham you used to kind of like, if you had the choice between these two, it was usually like Arsenal's Syncla, because you could Crown plus play the Staunch, depending on how they play their hand. But oh god.
I've like done no damage to them. They've just been taking a bunch of blood depth.
Thanks. Appreciate it. I know, nice reds. But 2 of my reds make my reds blues. Maybe. This variant of Bravo is fun to me because you don't get like random Bravo hands. Like when you do get random Bravo hands, they at least are very good blocking hands. So when you get the second cycle, you can just be like, all right, here, clap. Eat this. This is the best thing I got, and it's you can't really do anything with it because you've already used all your power cards. So they are not doing Vincent. It's not up here. Playing an incantation, playing a Bantam Wraith. Can't can't stop that. No sir. Actually, probably could have. I'm gonna give this and sink. I'm gonna sink the crippling. Blue. Damn. There's the blues. Just in time for me not to swing the hammer. Our Deathly Whale. We still have something. Okay, no, it's just a Moveran's good. It's the one card. Develop. Get a Rune Chance. Next thing with Rune Gate gets +3. Alright, so +3. This is coming in for 7, yeah. This is a Vincent trigger, so we cannot pay for 1. We will pay, I guess, with this. So we're not really playing that. This. My plan is to staunch bronze here, that's all. And then I'm going to swing the hammer. And if they have a pummel too, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. Yeah, the staunch for it. Or the sink for it. Boy, oh boy. Alright, other red pummel at least, is on like the bottom half of their deck, so we don't have to care. Alright, full block. Love it. Attack Yuppets. We're actually pretty even on card parity, funny enough. I'm so glad I found that little Vincent picture up here. Tell me whether or not they paid instead of having to look through these stupid logs. It's so hard to see whether or not they paid. You don't like physically watch this the entire time. It's not great. It gave me 2 cards. Interesting. Their hand must be really bad. Starstruck. White spread. Let's see. Scepter of Pain. This says go again? Doesn't. Interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna pay. What are they doing? Party. Okay. Weird. Alright. Structure. Structure done. Fortunately for them, if they give their armor and a 3-block, like, this is just damage. Like, that's it. But they also have reacts, right? Like the reduce. Because you saw one of those already. Which is fine. But being able to make this play based on the tunic is so good. Okay, alright. If you're crushed, you don't need us. You can still play the widespread. I promise. It's fine. Them giving their tunic here is weird. They probably just don't know. We'll see. If they have like a 4 or something that they care about. This is one of the better Vincent games. I've enjoyed this one. I like this like little combo thing. Okay, hold on. They didn't play it. It's probably gonna get pummeled. All right, so okay, let's start paying for stuff. Get back in our pay for things mode. I have no hand, so your pummel does nothing. Okay, so they're on the runaways list, it looks like, so we only have to worry about one other yellow pummel and then the red pummel whenever we get to probably turn like 18-ish. Managed a widespread ruin. What was the other manage again? Shadow? Okay. I love this song. This is the intro to Man Sans stream. Check him out if you don't know who that is, then you're living under a rock. Which is funny, because he just did a rock stream like yesterday, which was awesome. So. But this is actually a song from Octopath Traveler. I really like it. Pretend I have Pummel. If you guys are interested in my playlist as well, it's on my YouTube description of every single video. So. Well, I say every video, every recent video. Widespread destruction. Vietnam flashbacks. From Chicago Battle Hardened. Card is good. All these RuneGate cards are really strong. They're super good. So nothing is being played here. Just gonna play 1, 2, 3. Ending your turn? But why? Weird. Weird. Oh, get rid of that thing. That one there. Oh, I gotta go. Got. Dang. Doesn't particularly matter, I guess. Okay. I can Fate Foreseen and then... What is going on? I don't know what they're doing. Oh, okay. Honestly, I'm like pretty happy with just giving. No, I shouldn't get out of this habit. Okay, so we can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't even pay for all of it realistically. So kind of makes me want to do this. Okay, so 0. I am making this play specifically in case they have Pummel. Alright, well we didn't draw blue, so all our plans are foiled. They're gone. I wasted armor. No. This Rao's hand is not good. Okay, card vanish. Just let that put way on. Well, writing was on the wall. Good game, opponent. Let's get one more win on the tally board. Boom. That is going to be the entirety of the stream. Many games. I was like 11 games, right? Jeez. What a marathon. Almost 4 hours streaming. But you guys are going to enjoy this for the YouTube content. YouTube. So yeah. 10 wins, 1 loss. Only loss was... the mirror. Yeah, that's right. Very good game. I need to get more mirror practice with this like variant of the list. Actually, ooh, yeah, let's make this change real quick. That's what we're doing. It's blasphemy. I know. Remove. Sledge. This is so... It's literally just Oldham. The deck's just Oldham at this point. And if we're doing that, this turns into Viserai. Viserai. Bro, this is wild. It makes me kind of sad, it going this way. But this is good. Like, this feels good. Feels like a very solid list. Excuse me. Ooh. Another thing, too, is we could play... We can cut these. Oh, man. This might be a cut unmovables. And play it with staunches. Oh, my God. Is there anything else that I would want to play, actually? Over that? Probably like one pulverize and cheeky with it. That'd be cool. Let's do it. Yeah. Screw it. One pulverize for the mirror. This needs to go in the deck. Alright, let me think about the board. I'm gonna do a little bit of this just while we're here. Into the mirror. Sideboard. Okay. The normal stuff. I think you just play all the cards, right? We just do all of this. Maybe... Nope, that's it. That's the way we want to play. Because all you need to play this style, this variant of the game, is a blue, and that's it. And consistently should be... Let's see. 39 divided by 69. 56. So I mean, like, over... about 2 blues a hand. Like, you might have an all red hand, but that's a hand that you just block out, right? So that might be good. The other one that is weird for me in this case is dash. So dash is one where... Ooh, Iyslander might be bad with this too, because of the sledge. Sledge is not good in Iyslander. That's a fact. Ooh. Maybe you just play Anathos anyway. E-Strike is good, man. E-Strike is so good. Okay. Alright, so dash. Let's not get off track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. 9. 8 are blues. Play these into dash. Cut this into Iyslander. So we did ice. Just making changes on the fly, don't mind me. 2. I don't like these cards into Iyslander. Get to cut that. Oh yeah, that's free. Look at that. So good. So in this case, Oldham, they used to do like shield every once in a while, but like that's, to me, that's just bad. Like, I think we just do this and just hope, right? Like, you're trying to play your attacks anyway, kind of. So it is what it is. Then there's another. Dromai becomes harder when you have this. I don't like that, actually. Okay, we're going back to Anathos. Anathos is better. And since we are on Anathos, we cannot play this. So unmovable. Is there another card? If I wanted to play a Pulverize, what would I do? I don't have space. That's all there is to it. Okay. Alright, back to this list. Alright, all of that for nothing. But I hope you enjoyed anyway. So this is the deck. Matchups are wrong, so do not look at these. I can update these at some point in the future if I get enough interest in that, but it's honestly a good thought exercise to figure out like what you want to board out and in anyway when you're playing these college show matches. So it's up to you guys. But yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Gonna be out of town next week, so probably no stream for the next foreseeable future. But the YouTube is gonna be stacked. I'm gonna set up a schedule for that. So, all right, bye-bye.
Let's go.